Our keynote tonight is presented by my good friend and my ride or die district director partner, Sepi Holakeituai, past district director and DTM. Her home club is Central Pacific Bank Toastmasters Club, and she's been a member for 11 years. Sepi has a master's degree in diplomacy and military studies. If she's not working, studying, or participating at a Toastmasters event, you can find her on the North Shore of Oahu, spending time with her family. We first met in Chicago at district leader training during our club growth director year, and we have been friends ever since. Sepi served in District 49, which is the state of Hawaii. Sepi's favorite leadership quote are these words by Michael Jordan: "Earn your leadership every day." Please welcome Sepi with her keynote, "Step Up and Be Rewarded."
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Christine. I love that intro. We've been together for a while, and we've been pretty much inseparable. A successful team is built by individuals that step up. Founders District Leaders 22 to 2023. Thank you.
Sorry, Sepi, but we can't see you.
Oh yes, my mic there's two different me's. You see it?
Need to spotlight her video. I'll find her. I see her.
Okay, sorry, it's because my mic on the laptop does not work correctly. Does that work? Is it working?
Yeah, we can see you now.
Yeah. Okay, awesome, perfect. Okay, well, thank you for stepping up. I appreciate you guys stepping up to this leadership role. Sometimes it's a jump to the unknown, but I'm gonna promise you this unknown is worthwhile and you're gonna enjoy your journey. Today, I am honored to be your keynote speaker. As past district director 2020 to 2021, we did reach a goal, and I would like to help explain these goals that we did reach. And I hope that this keynote speech will be able to help you, inspire you, to help others. As Julia is saying, her unofficial theme is helping hands. Okay. When your past district director, Christine, Brady, and I met back in Chicago as club growth directors, we did not imagine that our year as district director would be virtual. But the year 2020 to 2021 was an amazing experience. I became a leader that I never thought I could become because it was such a new journey. It was us paving the way for leaders behind us. So I think COVID did help us become stronger and just reach into us that we never knew there was things for us to learn from. Okay. So the first thing we did as leaders is we set a goal. And that's the main thing you need to do as your district. You meet together as your top 3, top 6, your division directors, area directors, and even if you have your own committees, you meet together, you make your goal. And the goal we reached, or at least thought we would go for, was smelly distinguished. So we had these goals and we were gonna step up. Okay, so once you know what your goal is, you have to go back and reflect to yourself, why am I in Toastmasters? Am I here to grow as a leader? Am I here to help others grow? You determine your why. What are you doing here? What are you gonna do with your team? Whether you be an area director, division director, club growth director, program quality director, or district director, what are you guys gonna do to help reach that goal that you guys have decided to embark? How are you gonna reach these goals? Are you gonna meet every quarter, well, technically it should be often in a quarter. Are you gonna meet weekly, bi-weekly, bi-monthly, monthly? And then when? And when I put when, I'm putting when as, when are you gonna reach these goals? It's really important to know, okay, if we're gonna meet smelly distinguished, we're gonna try to reach this by April 30th. So if we don't reach the numbers, we know what we need to look at, whether it be payments, whether we need more training or membership training on how to get members, closing a deal. Write down your when. And of course, who's gonna help you reach these goals? Right now I think there was 43 participants last I checked. So who's gonna help you as Christine was stating earlier, you know, she had her team that she relied on. So you too, you rely and figure out who your team is. And then here I put where. Where do I go where do I go if I need help? So during this presentation, I'm gonna go over some things that's gonna help you with all these questions that, you know, we ask ourselves as leaders that will help us get to our goal. So the first thing for step up is support. I think as a leader, if you don't have the support you need, it's really going to be hard to be the leader that you want to be. So one of the main things I know as I first started as an area director was there was training. It's really important that you attend your training so that way you get the support you need, because you'll notice you'll get an email asking it might be a really basic question, but because you went to your training, you'll know where in toastmasters.org to go. So as you are trained, you know where to go so that you'll be the support for those you are stewardship over. So as area director, all these clubs that are under you, you would be their support. And likewise for the leadership roles that go above you. Also, as Toastmaster, I highly recommend getting your own Toastmasters email, because when you get emails, if it's mixed up with your family, your work email, it kind of gets mingled and you might miss an email. And to me, I feel like if a member reaches out to you, it's important to them. So to show that we appreciate them and, you know, coming to us for their support, that we would have a separate email just so that way we have everything organized. So I recommend having an email, as well as one of the things that I did write down here was supporting each other. I think the most one is division directors. Division directors, if you know your role, you're technically the support for the area directors. So as area directors, you'll get reminders from the district division directors. You'll get the goals of the district, because the key three will tell the division directors what is our goals for this month, this week, or the year. So what happens is when you meet together and discuss these items, the division directors normally sends out an email. And I thought it was very important that the division directors, we work together instead of one person, or Hawaii has four division directors. Instead of each division directors writing a separate email, why not, hey, this quarter, division A, you write the letter, and then division B, C, and D can follow through and add to it. So it takes turns. Figure out what works for your division, but work together versus working hard, stressful, and doing things that, that I would say it kind of wastes time. But if you work together, you're saving time, you're saving effort, you're saving sleep, because we don't want you guys to not sleep, or rest. So do those things. I think that would help also. So as a district leader, I feel by the time I became district director, I've been to so many training. I mean, Christine, we have our peer calls, we bounce ideas from each other. So by that time, I'm the district director. I felt I was knowledgeable. I knew where to go. I knew Toastmasters.org with my eyes closed. I knew which button to click. I knew the bylaws, not 1,000-page worth, but I knew basically where to go for the bylaws. But then as district directors, where do we go to get support? So I wanted to share the person I went to. Here's a selfie. If you don't know me, I love selfies. So I took a selfie with Gloria Shishido, and she is past international director, and she is almost like a mother here in Hawaii. She is the go-to person for everyone. And I unofficially made her my mentor, but feel free to find a mentor. But I went to Gloria Shishido and I asked her for her wisdom and her help. So throughout this presentation, I'll tell you other things she's helped me with. But one thing I like to share was when I was district director, I feel like she was club officer for every single club she was in. And I think she's in 5 clubs. So as busy as she was as district director, I really felt it was my opportunity to shine and create a club. And I always wanted a parliamentary club. So I decided, this is the year I have to build this club. I mean, right? What is the best way to ask others to open a club or start a club without me starting a club? So that's what was my goal. That was my goal. I reached out to Gloria and I asked Gloria if she wanted to be a charter member, and she accepted. And as busy as she is, she also volunteered to be the vice president of education. And if you're starting a club, it really is one of the most important roles, VPE, because you're trying to fill in the speakers, making sure all the meetings, run smoothly, and there's someone there to entertain or at least practice their speeches, right? So I was really appreciative of Gloria stepping in and easing some of the burden that comes with opening a club. So Gloria Shishido was my support. That's who I turn to. And I ask you, who do you turn to? If you don't have anyone, which I'm hoping you are all like, I have someone, that's okay. But if you don't have anyone, I'm gonna volunteer Christine to help you find someone that is relatable to you, that you guys can click or just share ideas. Because when you have that support, you'll find that the rest of the term or the year will just run somewhat more smoothly because you have that person you can always bounce your ideas with. So I encourage you guys to be the support as well as find someone to be your support. I have this other picture, and this is pretty much my team when I was program quality director. So I never had to worry about a contest because Nelson on the far right of me in the picture was in charge of that. And then there was Sherry in the muumuu dress, the red and black muumuu dress. She helped with the youth leadership program. And then of course, John was the district director at that term. And then Corey Ikeda, remember him? I have another picture as well as a story. But Corey Ikeda was the club growth director, and of course, Gloria Shishido. So this is our team, and we did what we had to do to help our clubs move forward, as well as ourselves. I mean, we talked day in, day out, text messages, whatever it was. We were pretty close, and we just helped each other because we knew the end goal, as well as trying to help each other just be friends, right? So as we go on this ladder of STEP, the next letter is T, timely. I put timely here because it's really important for us to handle the emails and phone calls that come to you. Because I belong to a club that's corporate, the corporate road, well, at least the bank that I work at 4 p.m., you should have already returned all phone calls, all emails. So I kind of took that to my leadership, and I knew as district director, it was really important for me to reach out to everyone that reached out to me. And although I didn't have the answer all the time, I mean, if it was a simple email with the answer, you got your answer right there. But if I had to do research, I always replied back that I received their email that day, but to give me a day or two, and if I knew I really didn't know the answer, to give me a week to find the answers, and then I would reply back to them. So emails and phone calls, I highly recommend that you follow up on those, because once again, they're asking you for help, and you as their support, they would appreciate you helping them. So everyone here understands that Toastmasters is a nonprofit organization, and they do understand that Toastmasters is not your life. Technically, I mean, it feels like it's your life, right? Because we always have these meetings, but it's really not your life. And everyone knows you have family, friends, whether it be church or sports activity, they understand. So just saying that you received their email, I know will do a lot for them. So just get back to them when you can. I mean, that whole 4 p.m., that's the corporate road, and this is really not a corporate road. But I'm just advising you at what are some of the things that I did. So I also wanted to share here, because I created an email that was strictly for Toastmasters, it was easy for me to, once I was done with work at 4 p.m., I could log in. But sometimes if I wanted to relieve myself from work because it was stressful, I would just log in, or even Saturdays, I would log in and then do my replies. But then I always remembered that timely also represents time for yourself. So Sundays was kapu, and in Hawaiian, kapu means sacred. So Sundays, no matter what, it was a call or email, I did not touch it, because that was my family time, my church time. And if I wanted to visit friends, that was their time. Because Monday through Saturday, I knew, if someone reached out to me being district director, it was really my obligation to help them, because that's the rule. So I encourage you all to find what is your kapu time and just stick with it. Don't budge, because you're losing your insanity. But then find your kapu time and stick with that. So I remember an email. So this is the email I was going to talk to you guys about with Gloria. So as district director, this is the time when there's a complaint, you're going to receive it, because the district director is the one that receives the complaints and handles it. If we have to go to TI, then, that's fine. There's procedures that we need to do. But there was a complaint that came in, and I'm the type of person that I know the rule, but I wasn't too sure if that was the correct action. So I reached out to Gloria, gave her the the scenario, and then she helped me out. So remember, don't stress out on everything. You don't have to know the answers. Go on your support team and have them help you. And what Gloria did was, she wasn't ready right away to help me because, she was at an appointment. So she said, give me an hour or two and then call me. So I did. 2 hours later, you for sure, I was right there calling it, Gloria, I need your help. Like, I don't know where you are now, but you said 2 hours. But of course, she did help me, gave me the research. And of course, she needed time to investigate as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know that find your support team and have them help you. Don't stress alone. And then reach out to them because nobody wants you to fail. Everybody wants to help you. So with timely support, they all come together. Okay. Sorry, I can hear my brother. Okay, and the next thing I have here is empathy. So E stands for empathy. Most of you, you can tell by I don't know if you can tell by the way I speak or my personality. It's really a term called here in Hawaii, Miss Aloha. And what it is I'm just a happy person. I just want to befriend everyone. I want to love everyone and talk story with them and act like we've been friends since kindergarten. So that's my personality, Miss Aloha. So as district director, even, back when I was finance manager, I was always trying to help other people, talk story, make friends. So with that personality of reaching out to others, on August 24, 2020, while the world was celebrating the beginning of our first virtual Toastmaster International Convention, I was giving birth to my son, Richard Sepi Holakeituai. So when I gave birth, I knew, as we all know, a child is not easy. They cry when they want to cry. They wake up, they want to cry. When they want to wake up, they eat when they want to eat, right? They dictate your life. So as district director, I really had to ask myself, is this something I can do? Because I don't want to put my son, family should be first, not Toastmasters. I really didn't want to choose between the two, Toastmasters, district director, or my son. But I was really humbled because as I thought about it, I really never ever had to choose my son or Toastmasters. So remember how I was telling you about Corey Ikeda? So Corey Ikeda is my program quality there. Corey was ready to teach everybody. Corey was the first person. Corey was the first person I told when I was pregnant. So you can see that the relationship between Corey, district director, program quality director, we're one and the same. I always could look to Corey and ask him for help if I needed. I never ever had to feel that I was burdening him. Corey even said to himself that, because there's at one point I was just doing everything. I didn't even reach out and ask him. And he reached out to me and said, hey, you rest. I can go visit this club. And I was like, you sure? Because I don't mind. And he's like, it's okay, Sepi. You do what you need to do. So I always appreciated Corey. And I wanted to emphasize to you guys as your district leadership, you key 3, top 6, or division directors or area directors, when you become the district founders, district leaders, make sure you guys are supporting each other and helping each other. Because if you can share a great news about being pregnant, getting married with someone within your trio or your top 6, that already tells you your relationship is strong. And a strong relationship personally can help your district be strong as well as when you're trying to reach your goals. So I encourage you guys, to be there for each other and help each other. Sorry. Okay. Also, one of the great things I liked was, I gave birth and all of a sudden, majority of the time, most of the people were like, why is Sepi holding a baby? And then, people were like, oh, she gave birth. That's her son. That's not her brother's kid. That's her son. So majority of the people in our district started to learn that a child through our Zoom meetings, right? So when we're meeting, what I really appreciated as a leader was if I had to step away, turn off my camera, feed the baby, change his diaper, whatever it was, when I came back, it was no problem for anyone. Everyone was always okay that I stepped away. And of course, at the end, it was always, oh, show baby, let's take a picture, right? So as a leader, showing empathy is very great, but receiving it back, I just loved my district for being so wonderful in that way. So I encourage you guys to show empathy, but at the same time, I'm hoping you guys are receiving it because as a leader, that makes you even stronger and more willing to serve. Yeah, the next letter I have here is P, which I have is praise. So everyone love to be praised, but I really feel you should find out early on in your leadership is to find out their style of praise. There are people that like to be praised one-on-one, and there's people that like to be praised. Hallelujah, everyone. Look at Facebook. I received this, right? Which is, there's no wrong answer, but it is just the personality of the person. So my manager at the bank I work at, when he first became manager, because we were all same reporting until he became up and became manager, and he asked everyone a questionnaire he sent out. He asked everyone, "Do you want one-on-one appraisals, or do you want it within the team when we have our team huddles?" So I always wrote back, one-on-one. So he never praised me in front of the group, which is totally fine with me. But as one-on-one, I really appreciate it because he knew that's just the personality I have. And as loud as I am, so these are my parents. They're Tongan. They're from Tonga, which is 3,000 or more miles away from Hawaii. And the Tongan culture is you don't say you're welcome. There's no word for you're welcome. It's always thank you. So you say thank you, they say thank you, right? So normally the conversation would be like malo ngawe, and the next person would say malo mao ngawe, which means thank you for the job, thank you for the work, and the other person will say thank you for working. So it's a way of saying always being gratitude. So that was the way I was raised. Was you just kind of like just you don't put it out there that this is what I'm doing. So it's just really hard to be praised in front of a lot of people. So I would encourage you to find out what type of praise they like and go from there. I do have this picture here that I wanted to share. Oh, so this is the word malo. So this here is Slava. Slava Slavic was my public relations manager, and I feel he did a great job with showing District 49 or even anyone in the internet world the great and amazing members we had. He started our very first podcast. So he found a member that was really good at doing podcasts and shoot it off from there. They started the podcast, did I think about 6 interviews, but each interview was someone in the district that was doing great things. So it's almost like a praise, like, hey, you're so good in building clubs. Please come on this podcast. So it was a different form of praise, but there were interviews in a podcast with that type of praise. And another thing he also established at that time was a member of the month. So almost similar to the podcast, but different in a sense that it was an article written by someone in the district. So find out what praise that you would like to do as a district leadership, and then go from there. Because I know members, they love to learn more about other people, but if we're only meeting via Zoom, they really can't learn more things. So if you do a podcast or whatever it may be, they do appreciate it. Okay, so my U for here is unite. So a part of learning, I think I learned this the hard way, or at least I just learned it, but is delegating. So when you unite your team, one of the things you're doing is you need to delegate. And my problem is I'm not hesitant in delegating because I think I can do it better, or I think it's just easier. But the reason why it's difficult for me to delegate is I always feel people are busy, and I don't want to interrupt their lives and add another thing for them to do. But I realized, through the many trainings we have as district directors, is if you don't delegate, you're not giving the opportunity for the other person to learn their skills as a leader, as well as they can learn their boundaries. So if they do say no, I mean, that's their leadership style of learning that they can't accept anymore. But learning to delegate offers another member to grow. So I encourage you guys, one of the main ways to unite is offering people to delegate. And I do love Toastmasters in the sense that we have so many people that's just from every single industry in the world, I feel. So you can learn something new from each person. As area directors, I'm not too sure who the area directors are here, but as area directors, one of the main things you're going to do is go out to the clubs and talk to them. I encourage you, when you go to the club, look for those members, their new members, even those that were there for a long time, and see what they can offer the district. And then try to pull them in. Give those names to the division directors as well as the district director. And then we could use them to help our club step up, or even our district reach its goals. So use those names, and then as well as asking newcomers, I think it's very important that district leaders also look for those that are past leaders, because for some reason, everyone feels, they're a past leader, they've already learned, they're okay, they don't need to be asked. But I say no, ask those leaders. So Roz, you may ask, or whoever, right? So just ask. But the reason why I'm saying this is we have a past district director who's super good in marketing. And as a district, if you want to grow, you really need someone good in marketing. And because she was a past district director, most people were like, no, just leave her because she's past district director. But no, I asked Rose Curlin to help. So Rose Curlin did help. So even past district directors, you ask them, ask them to help, but also mentor. And one thing I liked about what Rose did was, because we were now in a virtual environment, I'm not too sure how she met Julie, but she brought Julie aboard. So Julie came on and she did club officer training for us many times, and she taught our PRMs like I think over 5 times already. So Julie is our honorary member of District 49. She doesn't pay fees, but anytime she wants to come and visit us, she can come and visit us. So thank you, Rose and Julie, for your help. Okay, here I have party. And I had to write party because you guys have to have fun. Have fun. Because if you don't have fun, you'll just get stressed and you might just get irritated, and we don't want that, right? We don't want any of you guys to be stressed. So party. When I put party here, I mean that don't only celebrate at the award ceremony, but the big wins throughout the year. So in the virtual world, we couldn't meet in person anymore. Everything was locked down. So we had, all of a sudden, a club would sponsor a karaoke. People would just call in and sing, right? So any kind of party just to boost the morale of the group. And of course, showing them the praise. So within the year, I think we had about 4 or 5 different little get-togethers. But we did, I call it a party, but that's just something to help us remember that Toastmasters is fun and it's not just books and numbers. So at the end, as long as we step up, we can reach our goal, which is the star right there. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys here what we did reach at the end of my term. So these are the numbers. If you're a district director, you know these numbers and what they represent. Every district director knows. So at the end of my year, we were up 3 paid clubs. We were negative 245 payments and negative 1 distinguished clubs. So we did not reach SMEDLI, which is of course, shucks. But we did reach, from my calculation, I'm not a math expert, but we did reach number 13, or ranked number 13 in the world. And for the USA, we were ranked number 1. So although we didn't reach SMEDLI Distinguished Award, I was totally fine, because at the end of the year, I realized our team, our district, was the most, I would say, unified district in such a long time. Everyone was always there to support and help each other. So I was super happy that although we didn't reach our numbers, the district itself, the people within, were strong and unified. So this is, everybody wants to know what's in it for me. I've written these 8 things that you would receive. There's actually many more. There's more than this list, but this is the 8 things I thought that would be beneficial for you guys to see. And as a leader, I think it's really important that you are able to identify other people's potential leadership roles. You gain confidence as well as them. Your time management becomes impeccable. You show your human side, like when I gave birth, remember empathy. You recognize the good in others. You see others' strength, having fun. And what I like to remind people is, when the club is united, the area gets united. And if the area and divisions is united, the district is automatically united. So in the beginning, we did talk about the why, what, how, when, who, and where. So I hope throughout this presentation, you were able to see, okay, these are the people I'm going to start asking. This is the things I'm going to start doing. These are the dates I want to reach whatever goals it is. But always ask yourself, why, what, how, when, who, and where. And I feel that as you reach these goals or answer these questions, you can reach your goals. So once again, as we step up, we will support each other, give timely responses, show empathy to each other, give praises often, unite the team, party and celebrate the big wins. And as we step up, we will be rewarded. Thank you everyone for your time. I wish you the best of luck, and I know Founders District will do amazing. Thank you. Back to you, Christine.
Yes, thank
you,
you
Sepi.
so much, Sepi.
Yeah,
Everyone go ahead and unmute yourselves and just give her a huge round of applause.